Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Call Me When They Kiss. I'm Isa.
And I'm Sydney.
And if you are new around here, every Friday, Sydney and I discuss a different romance movie or sometimes a TV series. And you can also join us once a month for a bonus episode where we talk about a romance book. And I'm super excited for our April book. It is by one of our favorite romance authors, Abby Jimenez. It is called The Night We Met, and I already finished it, actually.
I know, and now I have FOMO, and I'm like, dang, I need to start this, today.
I think that you're going to like it, and I think you should just finish it and we'll record the episode early.
I saw somebody make a video that, she loved it, but also was, crying, and was like, you couldn't pay me to reread this book again, because she loved it so much, but was, really hit her in the feels. Do you think it evoked that strong of emotions, or was she just overreacting?
I didn't think it was that sad.
Okay.
I
mean, it's still got a happily ever after.
Yeah. I think the last one was sadder. Well, and I'm excited for you to read it because you'll know who her next book, what did she announce the title as? Falling, something about falling.
Yeah, it was
Feels like falling.
Song. Mm-hmm.
But when you read this book, you'll know who the main character of the next book is going to be, and I'm really excited to get your takes on it.
I feel like I've seen enough snippets that I know who it is, but obviously I don't people were like, dude, that's crazy that this guy is gonna get a redemption story.
Yeah.
And so I can assume who it is, but I am excited to see well, dang, what does he do that's so bad that people are shocked that he's getting this story.
I'm really excited to hear your thoughts. Sorry, we're speaking about this book very vaguely because Sydney hasn't read it yet, and obviously we're gonna save this for our bonus episode that comes out the last Monday of April. And today we're talking about Warm Bodies, a zombie romance, which, well, while we're on the topic, one of the main reasons why we're doing Warm Bodies today is because the audiobook narrator for The Night We Met is Teresa Palmer, who is the main girl in Warm Bodies, and allegedly that's Abby Jimenez's favorite rom-com of all time.
She said that if this book were to be turned into a movie, that she could see Teresa Palmer being the perfect fit for this main character in The Night We Met. So now having read it, could you see that?
I'm glad you brought this up. The character's 27 in the book.
Well, how old's Teresa Palmer? 37?
She's 39.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. I thought the character was going to be older.
So she's picturing Warm Bodies Teresa Palmer.
I guess.
Because then she would have been around that same age.
I mean, to be fair, if Teresa Palmer was a man, they probably would cast her in the role of a 27-year-old.
I mean, true.
Like Bridgerton.
Well, the older I get, too, the more that I realize they really cast... they're way overthinking the age of women when casting. Because if you were to tell me that Teresa Palmer in that movie was younger than I am now, in Warm Bodies, the age she was when filming that, she was younger than I am now. And I don't feel like I would be too old to be in that role. You know what I mean? I'm actually not really thinking about people's ages as much as I think that, Hollywood is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, while we're on the topic of ages, sorry, this is a side tangent that we didn't even plan on talking about, but... Oh, did you think I was going to segue into Age of Attraction?
Yes. I was like, okay. Okay, what were you going to...
No, I do want to talk about... Well, I do want to talk about Age of Attraction, but I was actually going to bring up... I think in one of our Bridgerton episodes, I said something about the actress who plays Eloise being the oldest lead, female lead, but I always forget, what's her name, Nicola? The girl who plays Penelope? I always forget that she's 37 or something like that.
I know.
Because she looks so young.
She does look really young. When I first saw her age several years ago, I was like, wait, what? She's one that I do feel like I look older than her.
Yeah, she's
very youthful and yeah, because I think we were talking about how Eloise was starting to look a bit older, but not too old still. I think she's fine, but it's funny though, people started complaining about the next season not being her storyline, which I realized we never talked about that either, that it was announced.
Oh, they confirmed, yeah.
Yeah, but people were oh no, by the time that season comes out, she's gonna be too old. And I'm like, what? It's gonna be in 3 years. She'll be fine. Like
Eloise? But it is crazy.
Eloise,
Like, she
yeah.
will be like 40 years old.
I mean, yeah, she's getting older. I just don't think that she's gonna visually change that dramatically in 3
No.
years. But yeah. But other people were like, hey, no, that's good. That means that like she's got a job secured
Yeah.
for these many more years. So we'll see how that turns out. But I didn't really have strong feelings. I don't mind. But we'll wait.
Well, I'm glad you brought this up as well, because I saw a lot of people being like, everyone was complaining about Francesca's season being next because they didn't think they were giving her enough time to mourn John.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something, though, that said they were going to do a time skip.
I saw that too, like a 2-year
Yeah,
time skip.
but then everybody was complaining about it so much that I was like, was that just a rumor? Are they not actually doing the time skip?
You know,
I guess we need to investigate.
yeah, and this kind of goes back to what we talked about on our Bridgerton episode, which is that each individual season is fun. It's a good time. I enjoy it, but I always feel like I need to deduct like 1 star just from like the fun, because like in a storytelling way, they're not really doing a great job. And to skip 2 years, like it's fine. Like that makes sense, I guess. Like that would prepare her to give her time to grieve or whatever. It could also like help prepare Eloise, because we've been talking about how she doesn't seem like anywhere closer to marriage yet, and that like she needs to have that progression too. But it's just such a like I feel kind of like a cop out from having to like actually show us the whole story, you know? Like I wish that they were coming out with seasons every year, and I wish that we could like actually see, like I don't need like a steamy romance every season. Like it would be interesting to watch a season that like shows her navigating her grief and Eloise like evolving more into like being ready for marriage and things like that, you know? Like I'd be okay with seeing that. But of course, at the pace that these seasons are coming out, it wouldn't make sense. And yeah, like I understand why they would do that, but I feel like we're missing out from like a really good, deep, like each season's actually interwoven together storytelling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I totally see what you're saying, but it's funny because I'm like, I do
don't
need
care?
a steamy romance every season. But I think it's because they have not really,
Yeah.
they haven't established that precedent where I like care that much.
Yeah, it would totally like it would be a completely different show if it were done that way.
It's not Downton Abbey, so just give me the steamy romance.
Yeah, no, that's valid.
But
it
the
wouldn't be
2-year time
Bridgerton.
skip, yeah, right. But the 2-year time skip, I'm like, just do Eloise's season then. I don't really.
Well,
why don't they just do that one first?
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering if maybe they'll kind of start it, because like John and Francesca were in Penelope and Colin's season.
Oh yeah, I see what
And
you're saying.
so like I wonder if they could at least start planting those seeds a little bit, and that we might see him come back, and like it's just gonna be weird if this dude just like shows back up 6 years after we saw him in the other, you know, like I don't know.
That's true.
We'll see. But at this point, Bridgerton can do whatever they want. They can jump back and forth. They could just pick us up and drop us in a completely new place, and we'll keep watching it. To be honest, like, I'm not even sure if I'm super interested in seeing a super steamy season of Eloise. So, like,
it is hard to picture, actually.
Like, I'm like, she's gonna have sex on screen? Okay.
Okay, we weren't even planning on talking about Bridgerton, but I'm glad it just happened naturally because I took a screenshot that I wanted to read on the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I saw this thread today, I guess. I think it's from Threads. If you're obsessed with heated rivalry but upset about Francesca and Michaela's season of Bridgerton, you aren't as much of an ally as you think. Support WLW love stories the way you support MLM love stories. And I just was like perplexed by that tweet because I was like, is it the heated rivalry fans that are mad about Francesca and Michaela's season? Like, I didn't understand why they thought that was a Venn diagram.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The women that love heated rivalry are not the same women that are upset about mad. Francesca and yeah, no, that's a really good point. I loved heated rivalry, and I don't care at all that this is our season.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, that is interesting. And it probably like got really big. Like the tweet probably blew up.
I
'Cause
know,
I've
yeah, it
seen
was like,
that.
yeah,
I've seen like I don't know if it was the same exact one, but like I've seen TikTok saying it, I've seen comments saying it, I've seen
yeah,
threads saying it, and I'm like, guys, you're just like regurgitating a message you saw once that you thought, oh yeah, that sounded good, and then you just like started saying it everywhere, and yeah, that doesn't actually really make sense.
I mean, I'm sure those people exist, you know? People that like heated rivalry, but for some reason are mad about Francesca and Michaela. But, like, I don't think that's the main demographic of who's mad about this.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
guess. That's just me guessing here.
Well, yeah. I don't even see like a huge crowd of like people are talking about people being upset about it, but personally like I don't see the comment. I mean, I see the
Yeah.
comments. I do see some, but they're all people that feel like deeply attached to the book, which like is not to excuse them if they're actually being like homophobic, but I feel like there could be people out there that like really felt attached and loved that book and like are supportive of I was gonna say ULW. But then I was like, why am I phrasing it like this? They're supportive of these like queer romances, you
Yeah.
know, but that it's hard for them to like to not see themselves in that story anymore,
Right.
you know, like. But
Yeah.
I also see, but now other people get to see themselves in that story. But like, I think generally, like as of most topics, there's a lot of nuance to things, and not everyone. I mean, like I said, I know there are people that are just like homophobic and don't want to see it. Then there are people that aren't, but they're just a little heartbroken. They don't get to see the story that they saw themselves in or whatever with infertility or whatever. And then apparently there's heated rivalry lovers that hate that hate this. But like there's probably a lot of different people and like who knows, you know. But I don't mind. I just hope that like I like Francesca more in general. Has nothing to do with the relationship. I just haven't been that invested in like her character.
No, me neither.
But she hasn't had her own season yet. So like
Yeah.
maybe she'll really shine.
Yeah.
So speaking of age gaps,
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys are like dying to hear our thoughts on Warm Bodies, which I would really be shocked if you were, but you can just skip ahead because we have a few other things we like want to talk about before we get to Warm Bodies. Honestly, like all day I've been like, I can't wait to talk to Sydney for 2 hours tonight. Okay, wait. So Age of Attraction or Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
Whatever you feel inspired.
Let's start with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't have that much to say about it this week. I just wanted to discuss our thoughts on the whole Jesse kissing Chase thing.
Oh yeah, I was like, I can't even remember what the new update was.
Yeah, and like by the time this episode drops, it'll be kind of old news, but my take on it is that they are self-producing. And this is just for attention. And
Miranda too. Like they're all in on it.
Yeah. And I think there's a couple layers to it. Like, I don't know. It's hard because the show has been so successful, but like this is a big enough scandal that it could get their show canceled. Well, and
you mean
Taylor's
scandal?
Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah.
Not Chase and Jesse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who cares?
I was like, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like rookie stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to like save their show and distract people from the Taylor stuff.
Yeah. Well, and Taylor left a comment somewhere saying that she'll never forget how Jesse and Demi have been the Demi. Is that how she says it? Have been the ones that have shown up for her the most. And so I wonder if Jesse is like, I'll take one for the team. Be the villain.
I'll kiss Chase.
Distract the drama. Yeah, like who knows, you know? But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Which, speaking of Taylor, did you see? Yeah, I sent it to you. The video she posted of herself playing the piano. I was like, what is happening here?
Okay. Yeah, but
I
sure,
can't
if I
believe
did that, I'd be roasted.
if you posted a
Decided
video
to
of you
try
playing
something new
Kanye.
today. Yeah, and like to be honest, like she was not playing it well. I'm like, I have barely touched a piano in like 10 years, but like I could play that better than you right now. Which I don't know, maybe she has no piano skills at all, but it's just funny that she's like just playing around and I stumbled upon this Kanye song.
I'm sure there's like people telling her, get off your phone, and it's just classic TFP to not listen. And that reminds me, I guess maybe I did have more to say about all this. Freaking Dakota
My
being
gosh.
cast on Alex Cooper's, first of all, Winter Games. Why the hell are you dropping a show called Winter Games in April? It comes out like in April, right?
Oh, it's actually like coming out now?
I think it's coming out really soon.
What the heck?
Okay, let me
Let
double
me see.
check. But like, I'm so mad that Dakota's on it, and I don't know, like this show seemingly came out of nowhere, so I don't know if they like
Oh,
already
yeah.
filmed it and stuff before all this.
I mean, I guess they have to film it in the winter.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it's on April 6th.
It makes me so mad that he like has a platform and keeps showing up places. Like, I want him to go away, and I never want to see or hear from him ever again. It like literally makes my blood boil.
But honestly, like I feel that way about Huda too. So like there's a couple people on there that I'm like, "Oh, what?" Like I guess they're divisive and like people would like tune in just for that, but
I haven't thought about
there's-
Huda since last summer, so I guess I don't feel as like pressed
like, I
about
don't
it.
care. No, I still think that cuz I see her as kind of abusive. And I
Yeah.
still think about like when she was kind of coercive towards what's his face, don't even remember his name, but how she was like basically like
Jeremiah.
no, the other Chris,
Oh, yeah.
and how she's like basically like if you don't hook up with me tonight, I'm gonna be mad in the morning. And I was like,
I
ugh,
forgot about
I
that.
don't like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's true. I haven't seen her since, so I guess that's good. I've seen like
Yeah.
Alandria way more than her.
I think those are all my Secret Lives of Mormon Wives thoughts. Do you have any?
Well, no,
Okay.
I wouldn't be I mean, I've never really cared all that much about the other people anyways, so it'll be interesting to see what they try to do to save it or the spin-offs, because it's like, oh, Jen, was that confirmed that Jen was going to be in the LA spin-off
Yeah,
or
I think that
whatever?
is official.
So I'm like, sure, I guess, but like, I don't know. I don't really care anymore.
I don't think I'll watch the Jen spinoff. Famous last words. That's actually what's bugging me about it. It's like I don't want to watch it, but I don't think I'll be able to resist.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Okay, and Issa also watched Age of Attraction. Issa loves reality
Yeah.
TV, so she's gonna like, she watches all the juicy stuff and just gives me the news so that I don't have to watch it.
Sydney's chronically online enough that she usually knows what's going
Yeah.
on.
I've even seen like
Even if
all the
she
couples
doesn't.
from Age of Attraction.
Yeah, even if she doesn't
So-
watch these shows. I just like had to get this off my chest. We actually talked about this in another episode, but the episode got too long, so we cut it out. But so like I'm back. I like I want to talk about it again. Okay, so Age of Attraction, it's that new Netflix dating show hosted by Nick Viall, everybody's least favorite podcaster, and his wife. And it's all about age gap relationships. The craziest age gap was a 27-year-old woman dating a 60-year-old man, so they were 33 years apart. And the main thing I wanted to say, and I wanted to discuss with you, Sydney, well, first of all, of course I watched it, like, you know, I couldn't help it. But it literally gave me the heebie-jeebies, and I was actually kind of annoyed that it got renewed for season 2 because I genuinely thought it was like so bizarre. And I don't know, I guess I'm just not woke enough for age gap relationships. It was icky to me. And then I did listen to all of the cast members go on Nick Viall's podcast. Sue me. But this is what I really wanted to talk to you about. The cast members were so weird on Nick Viall's podcast. Like, they kept saying weird stuff, like telling on themselves and their weird behaviors. And it was just funny because Nick and Natalie are the hosts of this show and they're like, they have to promote the show and like they want to get renewed. They just like had to sit there and like go along with it. But I'm like, there's no way you're not thinking what these people are saying is crazy.
So what were they saying?
Well, like one woman, she's like 49. I can't remember her exact age. She's like late 40s, I think. She said that she like changes her age on dating apps. Like all the weird comments that were being made on this podcast were from the older cast members, and
Yeah.
they were talking about like dating younger people and how they don't like people knowing their age. And to me,
Like how
that's
they
just
trap
like
people.
yeah, to me that's just like weird. Like the 60-year-old man was like, yeah, when women ask me how old I am, I'm just like, well, how old do you think I am? And you know,
And then he just laughs. I did see that clip. He's like, oh, I just let them guess, and then we
and then I go with
move
that.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he,
I
you know,
did see
and
that.
they all look great, you know. So like people are always guessing that they look younger than they are. But just like, well, and then another woman who was honestly like the face of the show, like one of the main couples of the show, she's like 54.
She blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen
And
her.
like I wanted to like her, but even her on Nick's podcast, I thought she was saying weird stuff like about this is what she kept saying that was weird. She kept saying that she wasn't attracted to guys her age because they're like just not attractive basically.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like imagine if like a man was saying that about a woman his age. You know what I mean? Like it just was so weird. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm really on like a hater rant right now, but at the end of the day, the older cast members just like aren't that mature. And I think that's a big reason why they're connecting with these younger people.
Yeah, no, that's crazy and weird. And yeah, like you said, like if that makes us not woke enough or whatever, then I don't even care. But I don't like it. I don't. I had a conversation actually with somebody about Aaron Taylor Johnson. You know who he is?
Yeah.
And like he married a woman. I don't even remember their age gap. Let me see. Now I'm curious after talking about these ones. Like, so he's only 35. They have a 23-year age gap, but they got married when he was 19. And I was having this conversation with somebody, and
Wait. Sorry, say that again. She's how old?
She's 23 years older than him.
Oh,
He's
okay.
35 right now, I think is what it said. And so she's like 58.
Okay.
But they got married when he was 19.
Okay.
They met. He was playing a love interest to her daughter,
Oh my
like in a
gosh.
movie. And she had kids of her own that weren't that much younger than him. And I think he came from kind of like a rough background though. And so then they get married, and he becomes the stepfather to teenagers when he's 19 years old. And like I think one of her daughters is only like 2 or 3 years younger than him at 19. And this person that I was talking to was like, no, that's not, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, that's a 19-year-old boy. Like, 19-year-old boys don't do things they don't want to.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh, no. Like, he was into that. Like, that's him. Like, that, if he didn't want to, he wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have been with her. And I'm like, okay, like, yes, I understand that obviously he entered into this relationship what he believed was consensual. I mean, he was 19, so technically, sure, it was consensual. But, like, come on. Like, let's think about this for a second. Like, she's in a position of power. He comes from a rough background. He has issues. Like, it doesn't matter if even he was pursuing her. She needed to be the one that was like, no, this isn't appropriate. It like frustrates me when people are like, oh, who cares? They're adults. They're consenting to it. And I'm like, no, there's more to it though. Like when they're like 19 years old, they're still a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about what the actual legal age is. It's weird to me. And I even just saw James Marsden. You know who he is, right? I was looking up stuff about The Notebook, and he came up, and he has a 27-year-old girlfriend. And immediately I was like,
oh yeah,
no, I don't like you anymore. like I just am like, no. You're 50 years old. You're 50 years old. Go date a 50-year-old. Like, no. You cannot tell me that there's not a single woman your age that isn't brilliant, attractive, smart, kind. Like, no. I'm not. You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah. At least she's 27 though. That was the last thing I was going to add about age of attraction. They have like 22, 23-year-olds on there. And I do think like if the show is going to continue, they should have a minimum age of 25. Like I don't think I agree. Like I still think James Marsden and Leonardo DiCaprio dating 25, 26, 27-year-olds is like weird. But at least their brains are fully developed. Like, I feel more confident that, like, well, they
I'm sure
know
that
what
those
they're
women are,
doing.
yeah.
But, I mean, obviously there's still, like, a power imbalance, but because they're, like, big celebrities and stuff. But,
I'm
yeah,
not
like,
as worried about the women in those situations, but I still think the man is a weirdo.
yeah, right.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, you're fine. Like, I know that they're getting what they want out of this relationship too. And like, that's fine, but you're a weirdo.
Yeah, like, at the end of the day,
So,
if Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to date me, I'd probably be like, okay.
you're like, let me talk to my husband. No, yeah, no, it's valid because, yeah, you're getting some attention. You're
I'm
probably getting
normal.
some money.
He's
Yeah,
not.
like, if he treats you right and wants to, like, spoil you, like, I get that. But with the show, it's kind of like what we talked about, like, with Taylor Frankie Paul is, like, is that reality TV malpractice to, like, put young,
Yeah.
vulnerable people in vulnerable situations? So, yeah.
The other
No, I
funny
get that.
thing, sorry, this will be the last thing I say about Age of Attraction, but the other funny thing that the cast members and the Vials, both of them have been saying is, like, they keep acting like it's, like, a classier dating show than all the other dating shows, and I'm like,
Why?
yeah, I don't know. I'm like, actually, this is one of the weirdest concepts you guys could have come up with. And second of all, it's still a dating show on Netflix. Like,
Yeah.
why are we acting? It's like when people were
None of
acting
you are
like to be the.
classy.
Yeah. It's like when people were acting like to be the Bachelorette, you have to be
Yeah.
worthy and righteous and pure. And it's like, oh my gosh, you guys all need to get over yourselves.
It's so funny. Yeah, these people are. I can't even wrap my head around like reality TV stars, which like Nick Viall included because he was one. But like they're just in like a different a different world. Doesn't even feel like I'm on the same earth as them. So okay, so we also wanted to talk about sorry, yeah, this is getting long, but you know what? There's just so many good things to discuss today.
I'd rather talk about this stuff than warm bodies, to be honest.
Yeah, like what we're just gonna do what we want, okay? This is our podcast. We say that like every episode too. We're like, you know what? We can decide what we want to talk about. And we
Yeah.
want to talk about the 13 going on 30 news.
You go first, because isn't that like one of your favorite
It's
movies?
your turn. No, I do really love 13 going on 30. It was definitely one of my favorites as a teenager. I'd rewatch it a lot. Rewatching it now as an adult, it's just so hard because like every single one of my favorite movies from that era all have cheating storylines. Like every single one of them cheats on their partner and I'm like, "Dang, this really stinks." And so that kind of puts a damper on things. But I do like it. I think it's really cute and fun and it's very nostalgic for me. So, yeah, it was announced that it would be a reboot, not a remake, and we'll kind of talk about that difference. But the cast was announced, and it's going to be starring Logan Lerman, right? Yes, right.
Is it
There's
Logan
like
Lerman
so many
or
guys
Dylan
that
O'Brien?
yes, exactly. That's exactly what I thought because these are like two guys that have been fan cast in like every Emily Henry novel ever, and so now I'm like, wait, which one? I think it was Logan Lerman, but
I think it was too, but I'm scrolling back in our text thread. Jeez, this was a long time ago. Yeah, Logan Lerman.
okay. So Logan Lerman and Emily Bader, who starred as Poppy in People We Meet on Vacation, and it's also being directed by the same director as People We Meet on Vacation. So, yeah, we have a lot of feelings about this. Issa just watched that movie for the first time in the last couple years, right?
Yeah,
Hadn't you never seen it before?
Yeah, it was probably like 2 years ago at this point.
Yeah, I think I posted about it was like one of my very first posts on my book talk, and you commented on it and was like, I've actually never seen this movie.
Oh yeah, I remember
So that was probably 2 years ago. But yeah, we do have some thoughts and feelings on this. I mean, I have feelings that it's a reboot. The cast I love, but I'm not thrilled that it's the same director as People We Meet on Vacation. I mean, I know you said that you'd rather just see a whole new story with that cast.
Well, that was my initial reaction. My gut reaction was, oh my gosh, like this is an amazing pairing. Why can't we just get a brand new story?
Mm-hmm.
Or like Logan Lerman, like you just said, he's been fan cast in like every Emily Henry adaptation. So him being cast in 13 going on 30 kind of tells me, okay, he's probably not going to do an Emily Henry book.
That's what I thought too.
Which is fine, but I'm just like, I don't know. But then I was thinking about it and I was like, well, I'm literally doing these series on our socials where I watch 10 different versions
All
of the
the different
same movie.
versions.
So then I was like, maybe I'm just being a boomer and like 13 Going on 30 is now a classic. And so
Yeah.
over the next 50 years, they're going to make it 10 different times. And that's just how it goes.
No, that's actually so true. And I've been thinking about that because everyone's always complaining that, like, all we're getting is remakes, remakes, remakes. But as you were doing the series, and I was going to start a series about A Star is Born, but then I got distracted by Ryan Gosling. Maybe I'll still do that. But it was making me realize that remakes have been happening forever.
Yeah.
Like, and some way more. Like, there's 11 or 12 plus adaptations of Wuthering Heights, all in less than 100 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, some of them came out pretty close together, but, like, even if they weren't, that's, you know, on average, like, one per every 10 years. The fact that we haven't got some of these movies remade in 30 or 30, 40
Yeah.
years is actually big.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the fact even that they're doing, well, I guess it's kind of different with some of these big series like Harry Potter. They're also doing an animated series of Twilight. Like, redoing a whole entire series might feel a little bit different. But I was like, dang, that's crazy that they're already doing, like, a new version of Twilight. But then I was thinking about it. I'm like, that came out 20 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. You know, like, well, the first movie came out almost 20 years ago.
Like,
I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about it though, because I do think that it's really good. One of the benefits I feel of remaking this one though is like what I just said.
oh, 13 Going on 30?
Yeah, 13 Going on 30 is like, I don't love that there was some cheating in it, you know? And there's some elements like that, yeah, sure. If you can remake that and like rewrite that. But I was saying, like, I texted our group chat about this. I didn't feel too confident in that though, because this director who directed People We Meet on Vacation kind of made the like weird emotional cheating in People We Meet on Vacation even weirder.
Yeah.
So like, I don't really know if I trust that he's gonna make it better. Do you know what I mean?
Him though? Like, was he the screenwriter too?
I mean, I've actually been wanting to research this for a while because, like, every conversation we have, I'm like,
You're like, who's to
getting
blame
the credit
here?
for this? Yeah, like, does the screenwriter change things under the direction of the director? Like, can the director tell the screenwriter what to write or to change? Or, yeah, I don't know.
Wait, so did you figure out the difference between a reboot and a remake?
Okay, so a remake is basically what you've been watching. Wuthering Heights, Romeo and Juliet, those are all remakes.
Okay.
Follows the same exact story. A reboot has like the same character and idea, but like it's not the same story that's being told. So for example, Spider-Man, that's been rebooted 3 times.
Okay, that makes sense.
Andrew Garfield, what's-his-face, and what's-his-face. The problem with us like talking about this many topics at the end of the day is that like my brain is starting to like slowly shut down. And I've actually been thinking about this. I have twins, if people don't know, but like I'm not kidding. My brain has not recovered from pregnancy. Pregnancy brain is real. Mom brain is real. And like sometimes it's so hard for me to like think about things. But yeah, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, and I can't remember the other guy.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, yes. So those ones have like different story arcs, different villains, like how origin stories of how he became Spider-Man, you know. Different girlfriends. Sometimes it's Mary Jane, sometimes it's what's her face. Yeah.
My God.
And so, yeah, those are considered reboots. So for 13 Going on 30, I think that, and this is why I was telling Isa before the podcast, I was thinking about making a post about this, is because I think people need to set their expectations right. And the fact that they used reboot instead of remake leads me to believe it's going to be a very different story. It's not going to be the same movie remade.
Well, and that makes me more interested, actually.
Yeah.
Not that I do like I really like 13 Going on 30, but back to what I was saying about getting new stories. At least this one's a reboot, I guess, instead of a remake.
Yeah, so everything I was saying actually kind of goes out the window of what I was about the cheating. Because I said that before I looked up like the difference between a remake and a reboot. I sent that in our text. And then I'm just now realizing, well, wait, if it's a different story, then hopefully it's just avoided altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's not going to be like scene for scene. Like the Disney live actions, those have been remakes because it's basically just a duplicate of the
Right.
original. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm intrigued, but it really does mean like who knows what we're going to be getting from that. And I want people to know that it's not a scene for scene copy of the original.
Yeah, that actually is really good to know going into it. Also, you know what? Like, because you keep talking about the cheating thing. And, like, we've talked about this stuff on our podcast so many times, like watching old romance movies or new romance movies and, like, pointing out problematic or unhealthy behavior. But, like,
You're like, I don't care.
sometimes it's like movies can just be movies, I think.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And, like, obviously, and we've talked about this too, like, if you're watching a movie with, like, a 10-year-old kid and it's showing, like, an unhealthy relationship, maybe you should sit down and tell the kid, like, you shouldn't date somebody
Yeah.
like this. But
Well, I
we
don't
have
even
the
think it needs to
benefit
be
of having fully developed brains, and
well,
so, like,
no,
sometimes
but
I
that's
don't care.
well, we have the benefit of having a fully developed brain. But like somebody commented on my notebook post saying that I was wrong and that it was the
Yeah.
most incredibly romantic movie made of all time. And I'm like, okay, but to like call this romantic, you can okay, and like I'll tell you, when I rewatched it, I was like, yeah, I like this movie. Like it feels romantic because of, you know, passion and the music and the scenes. Like it feels romantic. But we do need to take a step back and say, actually, this wasn't very romantic, you know? But people still feel that. Like, no, this is true romance. And I'm
Yeah.
like, she actually like I just maybe people think I'm being too extreme. But like I just draw the line like I don't want anybody to lay their hands on me ever once, even in any like in no way. I don't want you to touch me like in an aggressive way. Do you know what I mean? And so like in this she's like, you know, go on, leave then, leave. And she's like punching him and pushing him and she slaps his face and shoves him. And I was like, oh whoa. Like, and it's just that one scene. Like we can go on to assume that like she never went on to like beat him up, you know? But
Yeah.
like it still's like, no, I don't like that. Like I don't think like I think like if I was a woman and even just once I was dating a guy that pushed me or did anything like that. Like if it were my friend, I'd be like, no, leave. I don't care if it's like
Yeah.
a girl or boy or whatever, you know. And that's just the one thing. Yeah, they were both in other relationships and all the other things too, you know. But people still are like, this is the most romantic movie of all time. So yes, and I enjoy it, you know. I'm gonna watch that movie and yeah, I'm like it, you know, but I don't know if I could generalize the public to like recognize that. To be fair though, these ones like 13 going on 30 are honestly a lot less harmful than The Notebook.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a fake world where she travels time and he kisses her and he's engaged to somebody else and they just kiss. It's really not like yeah. It's not like that bad. I would hate if it happened to me, but I can just watch it and still enjoy it.
I did my civic duty and supported women in cinema on Monday night. On a Monday night during tax season, mind you, I went and supported a women-led film. And you know what? I loved it. I went and saw Forbidden Fruits and I left the theater liking it, but the more I've thought about it, the more I like it, and I think I need to rewatch it. I know you
Was
really
it
don't
gory?
like gore. It was like over the top gory,
Yeah.
but like only at the end.
Okay.
Like it wasn't scary, and then at the end all of a sudden there was like a lot of gore, but like you see it coming and you can like close your eyes really easily.
Okay.
But no, it was so funny. The only thing I was disappointed about was like the whole movie's like addressing toxic female friendships and relationships in like a funny way. But then like the end, like the climax, didn't really like tie those themes together in a satisfying way. So I was kind of disappointed because it was like touching on some really interesting like girl things,
Yeah.
but then I don't really feel like it followed through.
Yeah.
But overall, it was so funny, and I seriously loved every single one of the women in it. Victoria Pedretti was so funny in it. I've never seen You, or I
I
guess
haven't
she's
either.
also in The Haunting of Hill House. I don't like scary shows. But she was so funny in this, and I loved Lola Tongue in it, and I loved Lily Reinhart. I loved all of them. It was so funny.
The only thing that like I thought when I saw the trailers was that Lily Reinhart's hair looked like so obviously a wig
Yeah.
that it was kind of hard. I'm like, you couldn't have gotten a better wig. Is she wearing a wig, or is that just like her character's not wearing a wig, right?
No, I don't know why the wig was so bad. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
they must have spent the budget elsewhere. But everyone's been talking about the wig.
Yeah, I've seen a lot on TikTok though, and it sounds like people are like loving it, like saying that that it's gonna have a cult following and that it's super campy, and they are just loving it.
Yeah, it was funny. And like most of the time I was like, what is even happening? Like it just it feels so random, but that's why like the more I've thought about it, the more I'm like, wait, that was actually awesome. And it made me really excited for the love hypothesis, funnily enough.
Oh yeah. Well,
'Cause-
I'm just surprised we don't have a date still.
I know. Somebody commented on one of Lily Reinhart's TikToks about forbidden fruits. They were like, okay, but when are we getting the love hypothesis? And she
Mhm.
was like, don't worry, like, I'll have updates soon.
Yeah, because I thought it was gonna be this year, and now we're already a quarter through this year.
I know. I thought it would be this year too.
And the summer. It needs to be in the summer. Like, I don't want the love well, it could be the fall, I guess. But not the winter. I'm banning it. I'm tired of these romance releases in the winter.
Project Hail Mary? No, thank you. The love hypothesis? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm gonna invest in VidAngel.
For
so
what?
that I can just watch these, like how it edits out the scenes.
To edit out the gore?
Yeah. Because there's so many movies, like, I'm like, I have FOMO, I want to watch it, but like, I mean, we'll talk about this in Warm Bodies, but like, even Warm Bodies, I was like, ugh. Like, it just, I feel it happening to me. I feel it.
I don't like
Somebody
gore.
diagnosed me.
I don't like a lot of gore, but it doesn't like prevent me from watching something because I'll just close my eyes if I need to. Like, do you close your eyes or like what do you do?
Yeah. I look at my phone.
But it's not enough.
I look down.
Like, even closing
because
your eyes,
I like
you like
see
can't
a little bit. Some of it's hard, like if it's like a jump type thing. Like
Yeah.
I watched this movie called Freaky. Have you heard of that? Where
No.
it's got Vince Vaughn and some other new girl. You've probably seen her since, but they like swap bodies, so it's kind of like Freaky Friday, but she's a teenage girl and he's a serial killer. And yeah, I don't know.
How did you end up watching this?
Well, my friend was like, we should go and watch this. This was like a couple years ago. And then I found out after the fact that like she hates gory horror movies too. And I'm like, why are we here?
Yeah.
But it was like so shocking, like when it happened, that like you couldn't even like prepare. You're seeing somebody like get stabbed through or something, ultra violent. So like it's hard. Like I can look away. Like Housemaid was a little bit easier because like I read about the scenes beforehand and you told me about them, and so I could tell like when those were going to happen and I could like prepare myself or close my eyes or look away. But even the sounds, like I don't even like I've got to plug my ears, I've got to cover my eyes. Yeah, I think it was like the zombie Warm Bodies, he's like peeling off his face, and I was like,
I didn't like that part. Yeah.
So yeah, like I can look down once I don't have to keep watching that, but like it's already in my brain now,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I forgot because Forbidden Fruits was rated R, and I forgot that when you go to a rated R movie in the theaters, they play
The trailers.
like rated R trailers, and I was like, I did not sign up for this. Like,
and they show the scariest trailers ever
Yeah.
too. Yeah. Like the trailers are rated R.
Yeah. Well, and
Yeah.
I feel like in horror movie trailers too, they like obviously they're gonna show you the scariest stuff.
Yeah.
So
No, that's so true.
me and
I
my
hate
sister
that.
were like freaking out in the theater. This is why we have a romance podcast and not a horror movie podcast.
Well, and I'm like shocked by the amount of horror movies that are always coming out. Like sometimes like that's all that's in the theater lineup. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Dang,
It's
is this
actually
like the second most watched genre? Like,
after romance.
yeah, like how are there more horror movies? There's probably 10 times more horror movies coming out than romance movies though. So I'm curious about the numbers. How do they keep getting made and going to theaters?
Speaking of gore, that's
Should
our
we talk
favorite
about Warm
segue.
Bodies?
Speaking of,
Let's talk about Warm Bodies. Where do we even begin?
I don't even know. This was your first time seeing it?
No, I saw it in theaters.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I know I asked you that last time.
I'm gonna tell you though, it felt like I was watching it for the first time. I remembered the very end, but I was like, Dave Franco's in this?
I know,
mean,
yeah.
Once 5 minutes passed, I'm like, no, he's not really in this. But yeah, it did feel like I was watching it for the first time.
Did I like it? I kind of liked it. What did I rate it on Letterboxd? I already forgot. I can't remember if I gave it a 2.
I don't even think I follow you on Letterboxd. Did you take notes while watching this movie?
No. Did you?
Yes. Maybe I have like 7 bullets. I could just go through and read them, and then I'll just rapid fire these bullets, and then you can tell me what your thoughts were or if any of them are related.
Okay. I gave it 2 stars.
That's probably what I would give it to.
Okay. Fire off your notes for me.
Okay. My first note was kind of deep. Not really. I was like, really, like the first couple minutes in, I thought this could be really interesting. And then it didn't really like execute it in the way that like I think they could have. But I wrote that he was talking about how it would be so nice to be human and like make connections. He was kind of like fantasizing about this. Like, wouldn't it be so nice to be human again and have these connections? And in this like fantasy, it's showing like all these zombies turn into humans and they're walking, but they're all looking down on their phones.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like an interesting kind of start that like he was saying like humans are human because of the connections we make, but then it's showing them all on their phones, and that's what we call people that are glued to their phones, like we call them zombies. And so I thought like, oh, this could be interesting. I wonder really like what the message
Where
of this
they're gonna
movie's
take
gonna be.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it didn't really. I mean, it still is kind of the moral of the story. Like they make this connection, and like love cures zombies or whatever. So like, yeah, it's saying that like human connection is like important and the core of like what being human is. Like technically, sure, that's the message. I just think it could have been really interesting if they had like kind of if it wasn't a rom-com basically. Okay, so then I wanted to talk to you about this. It was released by Summit, which was the same like production company as Twilight, and it was coming out around the same time. And so I wanted to hear your thoughts about like if you felt like, and yeah, I guess I'll just go down this, but I want to hear your thoughts on like if you felt like they were trying to like tap into this Twilight audience of like these other creatures and romance, or if it just so happened to be the same producer, but it was the same time frame and all that. I wrote that I'd literally kill myself the day a zombie apocalypse was announced. There's no way that I would try to like survive that. No.
Either.
I'm not going to risk getting ate alive by a zombie. No. I'm out. I said this was actually a really good cast, way bigger than I thought it was. I think I was 16 when it came out, but like I don't really remember a lot of people my age loving it, and so I was kind of curious about like again, like hearing your thoughts on the target audience or like what like I was like, was this more popular than I thought it was? Or yeah, just want to hear your thoughts on that. Yeah, I don't love watching humans be ate. I don't even like them shooting the zombies though either. I don't like seeing people get shot in the head. And I don't like them being ate either. But like there was a lot of scenes, yeah, that I was just kind of like looking at my phone, half watching because I was like, wow, this is I kind of got nauseous. My biggest question mark, like, whoa moment, though, was like, so he eats her boyfriend?
Yeah.
And then carries around pieces of his brain in his pocket.
Yeah, that was gross.
And that was the last note I wrote, and I really couldn't get past that. The whole rest of the movie, I was like, but he ate your boyfriend.
Yeah, and it was like, I mean, he ate her boyfriend, which was rude, but also it was corny. I just wasn't expecting it in a zombie movie that like he would eat the brains and it would allow him to see his memories.
Yeah.
Like that felt kind of weird to me. And
it felt weird because it's like, is that why you are liking this girl? Because of what you see in this other dude's memories.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah. Okay, so those were my general thoughts. Did you have anything that connected, or what were your thoughts on some of the topics that I brought up?
Well, I wanted to talk about the Twilight thing because I was seeing mixed, like, as I was reading about the movie, I was seeing mixed opinions on that. Some people were saying they were, like, making fun of Twilight, and then some people were saying they were just trying to capitalize on the Twilight moment, like you were saying, like monster romance.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know that it was produced by Summit, and now knowing that, I'm like, yeah, it seems like they were just trying to capitalize on it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because, like, it didn't feel enough like a parody to make me think. Like, it had some
Well, it's still a
earnestness
love
to
story.
it. Yeah, like, the
Yeah.
fact that they, like, solved the world's problems through the power of love.
Yeah.
And it didn't
That's
feel
even
quite
sweeter than
jokey enough. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweeter than any moral of the story in Twilight.
Yeah. What do you think?
I could see them trying. Well, it's weird because it's still so different, of course, because it's a rom-com and it is like slightly gory. That yeah, I was kind of confused on like, are there overlaps in these fandoms? Because they're told very differently. Like, yes, they're both romances, but they're just so different. But there was even a scene where they were both lying down in the grass, and it kind of like panned around them, like Dave Franco and Teresa Palmer. And I was like, it's Twilight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like later though, like it was when the later Twilight movies were coming out, and so that Twilight fandom like was getting older
Slightly
now.
older.
So I could see them trying to appeal to that, but like I just don't remember anybody ever talking about this movie after it came out. So I don't know
No,
if they were successful in that.
Yeah, I was looking online and I went on Reddit to see, like, I was trying to figure out if it had any sort of cult following or anything. And honestly, I don't think it really does.
Hmm.
Like,
Like, it
I
was
don't
just
think
kind of that.
it's
That's it.
actually very popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I saw that Rotten Tomatoes included it on its list of, like, top 100 zombie movies. But for some reason, it didn't tell me, like, what number on the list it was. And I was too
Yeah.
lazy to go find the list. But I was like, is that really that impressive? Like, I know there's a lot of zombie movies out there, but it still seems like a narrow enough category that making it to the top 100 can't really be that big of an accomplishment.
I guess like zombie movies, I mean, okay, I was gonna say like, is there really an audience for them? Because I can't really name a ton off my head. I mean, I know The Walking Dead. I guess I Am Legend was like a really big.
I think I've seen World War Z.
Oh, I did watch World War Z.
Fun fact, I watched that at my husband's house when I was like a teenager and we weren't dating.
Fun fact, I watched that at my own house, but this guy, an older guy, speaking of Age of Attraction, no, he was, yeah, like he was like 20, I think he was like 21 and I was like 16, but he liked
Sydney,
me.
what?
Yes, and he came over and my parents like knew, well, my mom knew that he liked me, and so like this whole movie, he's like watching it with my family. He's like a family friend, and he's like rubbing my arm the whole time, and like I can't even remember,
your
like
family?
like it was kind of like he was trying to be discreet, and it just like kind of was like I don't even remember watching the movie because I was like, why are you trying to touch my arm? Like my dad's right here.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh.
he like asked if he could take me out to ice cream afterwards, and my little brother was like, "Can I come?" And my dad was like, "Yeah, sure. Go with them." And my mom was like, "Errol, he's trying to ask her out on a date." And they were like okay
Errol?
with that. Yeah, that's my dad's name. But yeah, that's what I remember about World
So
War
did
Z.
you go by yourself with him?
Yeah, I did.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I thought I was
It's
like
giving-
Cher okay.
It's
Like
giving.
I was like, what?
Never mind.
What?
I was gonna say it's giving Jason Michaela from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yeah. But we never kissed or anything. Yeah. I was like terrified of I talked to Issa about this. I was so scared of boys growing up. And so I always made it like very, 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 very clear to them. Like if any, and then I wonder why no guys expressed interest in me. As I'm like going around shouting to everyone, I'm not gonna kiss you. I'm not gonna kiss you. And then I'm like, dang, why didn't any guys want to date me? Yeah, I was terrified of boys and kissing them apparently. So
Can you guys tell we like don't really actually feel like talking about
the
warm
movie.
bodies?
Oh, This is for the true fans, okay? This episode is for our true fans.
Okay, should we do our
Anyways,
ratings? Were we in the
sure.
middle of a topic, or should we just go to our
We were
ratings?
just talking about Twilight. No, I wanted to hear your thoughts on everything. We only made it into one thought. You're like, I'm done.
Okay. No, I'll say this. Okay, I'll say this. You know, I actually was rooting for the zombie relationship. Like, I know you don't think Nicholas Hoult is cute, but like, and I didn't think he was like hot in the movie, but like, I thought they actually made a cute couple, and I was
Yeah.
relieved at the end when he was no longer a zombie and they could be together. But I literally could not handle how slow the zombies were talking. And I
Yeah.
think, like, I haven't seen a lot of zombie movies, okay? But I think in most zombie movies, what I would guess is that the zombies aren't really talking. They're mostly getting shot at and killed.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, like, suffer through them trying to spit it out and form a sentence. But, like, I genuinely felt like it slowed down the whole entire movie. Like, having to sit and wait for the zombies to say a single
Get a
word.
sentence out.
I don't know if that bothered you, but it really bothered me.
It didn't like super bother me, but it's hard because I am always going to gravitate towards romance movies that have like really strong connections, and it's harder for me to be sold on like even though I know it's just a rom-com and he's literally a zombie, it's harder for me to like really feel committed to this relationship when like they haven't really talked with each other that much because he was like he
'Cause
like
he was a
can't
zombie?
talk. Yeah. So I'm like, girl, you're risking your life for this dude you do not know. He knows more about you because he's been eating your boyfriend's brain, but like you don't really know him. He hasn't been able to talk to you at all.
They communicated through his vinyl records.
True. They connected.
What else?
And she was really
Maybe
cute.
that's
I
all.
like Teresa Palmer. Like I liked
Yeah,
her
she was
character.
cute.
I liked her like vibe, and yeah, I liked her.
All right, should we do our ratings?
That's it? That's all your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much. Do you have
What was
more?
the other thing that I wanted to hear your thoughts on? I guess that's it. That's it? I just read my bullet notes and you said 2 things. Yeah, that's all. Would you recommend it?
I just didn't like it that much, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like zombie movies. I don't like apocalypse movies. The kiss at the end was fine. It was weird that he got shot in the chest and was like totally fine.
Yeah, maybe it's because he wasn't quite human yet.
Yeah, I don't know. No, because he was bleeding. I thought that was the whole point.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's how they could tell he was human. So then the rest of the movie, I was wondering where you could get shot and survive, you know?
I mean, technically, I guess in a lot of places, as long as it like is perfectly placed to avoid your organs. But yeah, and like are all the doctors, like hopefully they've got some good doctors in this walled up city where they all ate. Yeah, it was kind of like there were a couple themes that felt kind of relevant today. About seeing, you know, people as others and that like connection was like the solution all along. And maybe I'm just reading into that way too deep and they weren't trying to have that message at all. But I was like, yeah, that's kind of a nice message, you know? Like it's like they're the bad guys, we're the good guys, whatever. They have a wall built literally and all they needed was to like come together, and which is like you can't think about it too deep though, because I'm like, well, why didn't that prevent it from stopping all along? Because, like, obviously people cared deeply about each other, you know? Like, why is this the first zombie that, like, had other feelings? I don't know. But I guess, like, I did read that the director or writer was, like, really careful to, like, try to stay true to zombie mythology because he didn't want to offend people. Like, I guess, like, the true zombie lovers, like, have strong feelings about, like, the origin of zombies, and kind of like how people in Twilight were like, this is so ridiculous, like this isn't even a vampire, like vampires don't sparkle, they're not supposed to be in the den, blah, 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 you know. Apparently there's like zombie fans like that too, and so they tried to like stay true to zombie nature.
Well,
but I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, the fact that the zombies could eat brains and see people's memories by eating their brains, that feels like the Twilight equivalent of a sparkly vampire.
Yeah. It was interesting. But I didn't dislike it. Like, I didn't like, oh my gosh, I hate this. I don't even like dislike it in the way that I dislike Notting Hill, where like we could talk about that for an hour. It
Yeah.
was just like not my cup of tea.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I don't understand Abby Jimenez any better though. Like after watching this, I'm like, really?
I know, I
Is
like
this
want
really your
to.
favorite?
Our goal should be to get her on the podcast and then we can ask her. Please
Yeah,
explain to
seriously.
us why this is your favorite rom-com. And I'd like to do the same with Emily Henry and Notting Hill.
Oh yeah. Yeah, some of these excellent, amazing romance writers, we have disagreed with some of their favorites. So, but that's what I love about this is we all have different tastes. I don't think I laughed once though. Did you find it funny?
Not particularly, no.
Like there were some moments that was kind of like a huh, huh, but I don't think I even really cracked a smile. I think I just watched it with a deadpan face and was like, "All right, well, that's over."
Yeah, no, it wasn't my fave. But compared to all the other Romeo and Juliet movies I've watched, it probably will be somewhat high on the list. Cause at least it wasn't like I wasn't bored.
Yeah. But honestly, like, I feel like New Moon has more Romeo and Juliet themes than this movie. Other than it being like two people that aren't allowed to be with each other, it wasn't giving me a lot of like Romeo and Juliet vibes. I mean, his name was R and her name was Julie.
And Dave Franco's name was Perry. He was like the
I didn't
Paris
even notice
character.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. But you're gonna make a video about it for your series?
Yeah, I actually made it before we started recording. I
Oh,
just
yeah.
need to edit it and I'll post it tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would recommend it if you like zombies and kind of like deadpan. Is that what they call it? Like deadpan humor? Am I making that up?
No, I think that's right.
Dry humor? Like,
Okay, wait. I have a question for you, actually. So, would
okay.
you consider this a zombie movie with romance or a romance movie with zombies?
A romance movie with zombies.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah. Because, like, that was the whole point of the movie, is the romance. If you
Okay,
take
and
away the romance, there's not much left.
And you know what the best zombie movie is?
What?
Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. Have you ever
I
seen
thought you
that?
were going to maybe say, like, Zombie High or something. Is that like a Disney?
Yeah, zombie. I think it's just called Zombies.
I think I was getting confused because at the Disney Channel night that I went to in Disneyland, they like had this parade that was like a crossover between zombies and High School Musical. It was really weird because those are two very different audiences. Like why are you trying to
Yeah, that's kind of
appeal to
strange.
both? But okay, what is it? Scooby-Doo
Zombie Island.
Is that the live action one? No, it's a
No.
cartoon.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that I watched it. I did watch Scooby-Doo growing up, but I cannot recall it off the top of my head. Probably is the best one. You know why? Because they don't eat anybody in it. And they're all fake. So that's what I love about Scooby-Doo. That's my kind of like monster movie.
Well, that's the twist in that Scooby-Doo movie.
Are they real?
They're real zombies.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll give it a watch. Do they kiss in
Okay.
it? No, I'm just kidding.
Can't remember.
That's why we
if
came
Fred
up
and
with this
Daphne
name.
kiss.
By the way, our podcast name. I guess we never actually really talked about that, even in our intro episode. But it's kind of like a play on whenever Issa and I would talk about like a book or a movie, I'd always ask, "But is there kissing? But do they kiss?" So yeah, I promise. I mean, I watch movies that don't have kissing, but it's just so much more fun when they do.
Yeah. Should we bother with our ratings?
Well, the movie was a 2. Chemistry, I mean, hard to say. He couldn't speak to her. Do they last? I don't think so. Either she didn't care about her boyfriend at all, or they're gonna have to work through some.
Yeah.
She moved on very quickly.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Do I think they'll last?
Well, yeah.
They
Do you
might
have
just
thoughts on their
last.
chemistry?
The chemistry, considering the fact that he was a zombie, I'm impressed with the chemistry he was able to muster up.
Yeah.
I'd maybe give them a 2.5.
Okay.
Do I think they'll last? I think they might last just because the population has shrunk from this zombie apocalypse.
I mean, that's true. I did laugh at that part of the movie when she tells her friend, she's like, "Oh, that's your zombie boyfriend? You know, I know that, like, dating is hard, but you're crazy, basically, you know?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how they had the balcony scene, too.
Oh, I actually didn't even connect that.
Well, you haven't watched 8 versions of Romeo and Juliet, so...
Nope, never gonna. How many do you have left?
I watched another one today, so now I think I only have 2 left, but the problem is one of them is not in English. So I have to I'm exposing myself here on the pod, but a lot of the time I watch these movies while I'm working, but I
And you
can't
have to
read
really lock in.
subtitles. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to actually sit down and watch this movie.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sorry. Right when you were saying that, I glanced down at my phone and I had Zombie Island open still. That has an 89 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm telling you, it's the best Scooby-Doo
That's really
movie.
good. That's funny. Were you gonna say?
I wasn't joking. I was saying that unironically.
Well, were you gonna say anything about the score, the Rotten Tomatoes score of this one, or did you see any reviews or anything like that?
Oh, I was just surprised. Isn't it 82%?
Mm-hmm.
That surprised me.
Yeah, I actually didn't read any of the reviews. Okay, but Roger Ebert's name pops up again. Like, I'd never heard of his name, and I was like, who's this dude? And Issa was like, no, he's actually like a pretty famous movie critic. And ever since then, every single movie we've watched, his name has popped up in some sort of review. Warm Bodies is simply the first must-see movie of 2013. Wow.
He said that?
No. Sorry, some random.
I was like, wow.
Rando. Warm Body achieves a heartfelt ebullience. I've never seen that word before in my life. That's inspiring, and for a movie about the undead, watching this made me feel as alive as anything I've seen in ages.
Wow.
Warm Bodies is an ingenious hybrid that at its best manages to be funny, lyrical, and gruesome. People really love it. So, have you ever seen Zombieland? I guess there are a lot of zombie movies. I just don't watch them. Interesting. But everyone is saying that Shaun of the Dead is their favorite romantic comedy zombie.
Yeah, I saw that too. I didn't realize. I kept seeing people talk about Shaun of the Dead, comparing the two, but I guess I didn't realize that one also had romance in it.
It doesn't look like a romance. Interesting. It's rated a 92.
Oh,
Ugh,
wow.
it's British though. I'm not gonna trust them. Sorry. Sorry, guys. After watching Notting Hill, I'm a little bit skeptical of things that British people rave about. I've lost a little bit of trust. They probably feel the same way about me, so it's okay.
Sydney, in our bonus episode, she was so worried about offending Nora Roberts fans, and then she'll sit here and offend an entire country.
Okay, but you know what? We've had beef for centuries. So, it's kind of like siblings. We were all related at one point, and now it's just me, bullying my second cousin. So, I say it with love, but I can't miss a chance to make fun of the British.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta watch
night.
8 episodes.
Sorry,
I have to watch 8 episodes of Love Story.
Oh, yeah.
So we can record that episode this weekend. But that's next week's episode, you guys. Love Story on Hulu.
So you have a week. The people listening, you'll have a week. You can still watch one per day and watch it with us.
Us, we gotta get to work.
Yeah.
To bring you guys this riveting content.
Okay, but you know what? That episode is actually going to be extremely on topic and focused because we've already got all this news stuff out of the way, and there's actually just so much lore in that relationship and just everything in that story. So I am excited to talk about that one. Regardless of if I enjoy the show or not, I feel like we'll have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, let's sign off before we go off on another tangent. Okay, thank you guys for listening. Please leave us a rating, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.